Hey YouTube, what is up? How is everybody doing today? We're gonna be jumping into something a little bit different. I'm currently on Twitch doing a live reaction to this as well. We have the creator, Joseph, who wrote this entire thing and mixed, mastered, all that stuff, I'm assuming. But yeah, and the band is called Ethereal Shroud. And we're gonna start with Chasmal Fires and just keep going throughout the entire album, and it's gonna be interesting, including the bonus track. The album itself is only 4 songs long, but it's about like over an hour long, so it should be interesting. I don't even know genre. I'm assuming it's black metal, atmospheric, something similar to that, but we'll find out, man. And yeah, enough chatting anyway, man. Let's go. I still find it funny Metallica is one of those. It is kind of funny, to be fair, but... Oh, okay. And the mixing and mastering was done by Spencer Morris. Fair days, man. It sounds like we're in a sewer, man. You know, with like the drops of water hitting the surface. Totally sounds like a sewer. Ooh, we've got the orchestration coming in as well. It's very heavenly. I don't think it's going to stay this way. I think it's going to drop into some heaviness, but still. It's always nice when things start peacefully. Kind of build their way up a little bit and stuff, man, but still. Intentionally used quite an outdated synth patches because... Oh, makes sense. They do sound gorgeous, to be fair. They sound very... like what I would imagine, like if heaven was a real place, that it would sound like. Not that it is, because it's all BS, but still, you know what I mean. As a compliment, yeah. And we're building, and building, and building. I can hear everything coming in, man. It's very, very layered. Michael's £12, man. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, that's a gorgeous sound. That sound is so pretty. That's funny, man. I'm a massive sucker for violins as well. Violins are one of my cruxes, or whichever way you want to go about it. Yeah, that's true. I mean, this microphone's worth about £300, like £200. These are worth about 500, and I know, and a bunch of other stuff too, but still. Is it gonna drop? It sounds like it's gonna drop. Potentially. Maybe? Oh damn, that's sick, man. That's a bargain you got there. I will definitely find out. Yeah. But and like the post-production, there'll be all lyrics on the screen and everything, so like, you know, going along with the music and everything, but we'll see. Boy, those vocals are so far in the back, man, damn. Like, that was like demonically, I don't even know the word for it, man, like echoic, like, you know, like a darkened essence at the back of the mix. Yeah, man, the guitars are going into a proper atmospheric stuff. Or a depressive blacking style, should I say. Kind of reminding me of bands like Mol a little bit, which is awesome. Are you not a big fan of that? I'm sorry. It's kind of how I just generalise most things that sound atmospheric in a way, but whichever way you want to describe yourself. Man, your vocals are haunting them. What kind of production did you put onto the vocals, man? They sound amazing. Man, that guitar after those vocals, that's perfect. I'm getting chills. Just from this bit, man, we haven't even started it. Oh, that's sick. That's good then. Like, the whole piece sounds haunting. Oh, wow, mate. No way. Nah, that mixing is absolutely crazy. Like, as in it went from here, it went here, round, and then forward, and then back, and then it was continuing to go round you. Like, I've never heard that in music. Like, never in my life have I heard that in, like, you know, in like a pure mixing point of view. Just the way the vocals move, that is absolutely crazy, man. Why? That's like, you know, when you haven't heard something and it just blows you away, you're just like, oh shit. Is there something like someone knows? Yeah, that's me. I'm sorry. No, but is a deck. Wow, man, the way that it just went all the way around, that's craziness, mate. But still, I'll stop breaking it down in a little bit, but we need to go a bit further through the lyrics first, but still, let's keep going. Yeah, those guitars are still haunting me. I have a feeling this album might take this album of the year if it's like this the whole time. Oh man, that's like, whoa, that's giving me chills. It's like your vocals are surrounding me. Oh, we're here, brother. If you guys aren't keeping good ready. Why, what is that? Underneath everything, like, what is that? No, it's cable. There we go. Like a very high pitch cable. There, man. Damn. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, if I like this bit, I'm generally going to like the whole thing. I totally agree with you. Let's see, man. Let's go into the first bits. Let's see, what is this whole album going to be about? How wise the God who trades his son for lesser man, who seek no temple, only avarice and permanence. So, how wise can a person be who trades his son for creatures who were made by his own hand, for creatures who are made by his own purpose, his own abilities, and yet he traded his own flesh, his own blood, his own godly spirit for that. I mean, technically Jesus would be a demigod rather than a full god, if you think about it, because obviously it's God and human like together. That's why I'm assuming he traded, like, because it wasn't like the angels which he cast down. It was more like a human hybrid of his essence. Like, that's how I really see it. Like, it was a blasphemic thing for him to do. Because if you think about it, like, no man can understand God, but when you put both together, then of course it's gonna be an abomination, or whichever way you want to go about it. And still, yeah. And like, the men who seek no temple, man, only to have permanence in their lives, to find things to keep them going, either their lust or their ecstasy or gluttony, or whichever way you want to go about it. Judge not the heart, but thy devotion. Keep those who remain as close to salvation as to destitution. I totally agree. That's totally what the Bible does, what most modern religions try to do. I say modern, man. No religion is modern, but you know what I mean. Like, the ones which are still here. Like, as in the ones who remain, like, they want to be close to salvation. They want to believe that after we die, they're going to go somewhere. There's going to be a place for them. There's going to be things, but at the same time, is it really? I think it's really going to go that way. I honestly doubt it. Like, it's more like a ploy, man. It's like we know, most of the works were written by gods. Were written by humans even. The fuck am I talking about? Like, were written by the hand of man. So the fact that they were written by the hand of man, and then changed by kings and emperors and all those kinds of people as time went on, and changed it to such a way which suited each ruler individually, and it's why it's made as a slave to the people, to keep them in a place of vulnerability, which is why when most people are at their weakest, they turn to religion. And yeah, I can't explain what it means to be whole. You took that virtue away from me, a kingdom adorned with the thorns of thy idol. So yeah, like, he can't explain what it's like to be whole, and that virtue was taken, and being whole is a whole other thing. It's interesting. And then obviously a kingdom adorned with the thorns is totally like towards Jesus, who scorned the breath of truth and reason. We cannot pretend that the rules are the same. Yeah, it's true. Like, these people, these religious zealots, or whatever you want to call them, and they do hate the truth and the reason. And when you try to say, like, yes, you believe in this book, but at the same time, what about the passages which kill children, which slaughter people for their foreskins, which do lots and lots of other things, which, is interesting. And just like, you know, when you come up with those things, and like the things about women being subservient and all those things, and they just kind of ignore it, they throw it under the rug a little bit. And it's just like, you can't pick and choose your beliefs. It's either all or nothing. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, it's never made sense to me, so I don't know. But still, that the rules are the same for the blasphemer and the saint. The blasphemer and the saint, we cannot pretend that the rules are the same for the commoner and the priest. The commoner and the priest, like, I agree. Like, the rules are exactly the same. Whether they blaspheme to that extent, whether they're a saint, man, the rules are always there. Everybody is born in sin. You have to accept whatever. Well, if we talk about Christianity, you have to accept Jesus into your heart, but then that's not always guaranteed, man, because even if you accept it, that doesn't mean all your sins are forgiven. It just means that there's a chance, maybe potentially, kind of, if he's in a good mood, he might potentially let you in. And still, the toils I've endured are so far beyond meaning. There is no grace of voice, only tenets and blood-stained stones. Yep, that's true. It's so very true. Like, especially back in the olden days when there was witch burnings and witch things happening, and scientists and free thinkers were burned at the stakes, were stoned to death for their views. And yeah, you get the idea, man. Like, religious zealot. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not zealots. It's religious bigotry isn't really something that's needed in today's like world, I would say, personally. But still, either way, let's keep it going. I'm just going to see if that's pushing from what's quite funny. I know, right? It's funny when people think you're going proper Christian, but no, you're not. You're very much the opposite to that. The only bad thing that I would say, folks, is that the vocals are kind of hard to hear in the mix a little bit. You know, to kind of follow along with where you are. Oh, yeah, makes sense. I totally get what you mean. But I think the way the vocals are mixed is purposely done, so it becomes more like a musical force rather than pure lyrics. At least that's my view on it anyway. Yeah, exactly, texture. I love the guitars, man. The guitars are gorgeous. They're like elevating the whole music upwards. While it's still dark, it's also bright at the same time. Oh really? It works really well, man. The riff is amazing. Wow, man, it's so powerful. No, wait, where did it 11 minutes go? Like, why? Okay, whatever. Like, I swear this song's only been going for like 2 or 3 minutes, but it seems to me. Well, we got a female vocalist too. That's cool, man. That's a nice breakup, man. That's a draconian style move, isn't it? So, what band's similar to that anyway? Oh really? That's sick, man. You got some talented neighbours. Like, I'm getting lost in the music in like the best way possible. Oh yeah, she's talented. She's so talented, that's crazy. Her voice is haunting me. Like, the best music, in my opinion, is the one which makes my imagination work. And that's all this has done since it started. As like, music is one of the deepest forms of mediums to me, personally, so... Yeah, the same with me. I don't see any other way that we can truly connect. My music's the only thing that's one of my only forms of connection, in that sense. Oh, your lows are gorgeous there, man, damn. Those lows are gorgeous. And that keyboard is everything, man. It's those little bits, man, those little bits that make it perfect. And the keyboard's getting higher and higher and higher as we go. Oh no, that's sick. And back into that guitar riff, that's beautiful, man. Wow, man. That's absolutely gorgeous. I want to go back to like a fair bit back, just so I can hear it build into her vocals into like the 2 end, like, because that was like such a beautiful like mix going from your normal into her vocals, then you go into your low, and then like more passion and more passion and more passion, and then like not changing, but allowing the keyboard to go forward a little bit, then having the guitar go in, and then damn. Like, I don't even know how to describe this in words that make sense, man. I don't know how to give it enough love, because it's like, you can see the amount of time that's been put into it. You can feel it, man. It's like a literal, like, it has proper feels and feelings and everything in it, man. But still, let's see. Your archaism. I actually have no idea what that word means, so give me 1 sec while I look it up. Archaism, a thing that is very old-fashioned, especially an archaic word, a style or language of arts. Item. So yeah, your like old-fashioned dies this day, basically, like your old traditions, your old whatever, in terms of religion, die this day, or in terms of theocracy, whichever way you want to go about it, man. You are but the shadow of a lie, feeble and brittle like silence. Yeah, exactly, like, that's true, because the people who do believe the most religious of the religious zealots are those who are just a shadow of who they could potentially be, because they devote their life to something that's inherently bad for them, that makes them fearful of everything. yes, they feel God's love, or whichever way they want to go about it, but at the same time, it's just like scary for me personally to watch people able just to rid their lives so easily of things that they enjoy or things that they think might be good for them, or like, you know, or just like live in the fear of judgment one day, which is kind of sad to me, man. But still, I love that metaphor too. That metaphor is absolutely amazing. But so, bending the fear of earnest held faith, you took the world from us, from cracked and sullen hands, as hope slipped through our fingers and sank beneath the sands. Like, yeah, exactly. Like the religion bent the fear. It took everything from them. It cracked it, made everything, and hope slowly went away. And yeah, I'm sorry, there's no song request today. I'm just doing an album. Have you never had somebody do lyrics? No, I'm a total like lyrical breakdown like channel. That's literally my whole thing, so. And yeah, damn. I love it. The metaphors, the way that it's describing it, it's absolutely perfect. Damn. Let's see. Fire sows the fire. That's true. Like, fire in turn creates fire, which makes total sense, right? Wrath rends retribution. Effigies casting shadows. Likening tyrants to deities. Yeah, exactly. That's what God does. Yeah. Has no one figured out what this verse is about yet? Or at least what inspired it? Oh, okay. Let's see. So, fire sows the fire. Wrath rends retribution. Effigies casting shadows. Likening tyrants to deities. So, let's see. So, in terms of the Bible, should we say, so the wrath of God, when he's wrathful, when he causes when he causes the floods, when he causes the plagues and everything like that, his wrath rends retribution to a different class of people, basically. So when he wipes out the Egyptian kings, he uses that to free a different set of people. So wrath and destruction are causing that to happen. So you can see in a multitude of ways. It's destruction, it's like fearful, it's all of those things, but at the same time, depending on your viewpoint, or at least like what inspired the viewpoint, you can see it as a good thing. So, like retribution, it can be completely rendered from wrath. Effigies are casting shadows, so yeah, that makes sense. Like the effigies, the book itself is causing the book itself, the tales, the tellings are casting shadows on the entirety of humanity. And then the likening tyrants to deities is like, so God himself is a tyrant, and the kings who destroyed multitudes of people for their foreskins and lots of other things in the process are basically like tyrants turned into deities. The same with Jesus himself as well. Like Jesus is a way for God's for how we are born in sin to be cemented into it, because God has the power to save. The whole book he saved and he destroyed, and he did what he wanted, but for his own child he didn't, because he wanted humanity to have that burden upon their shoulders. And yeah, befalling monuments to prove hence from this day what's written in stone can crumble to dust. And yeah, it's so very, very, very true. Like, I agree totally. Like, just because something is with enough time, even stone is washed away. So nothing is ever there forever. Not religion, not text, not anything. Eventually will be a speck on this face of this planet, and like that will be gone. So yeah. And then yeah, to what end was I made this way? If my nature is a transgression. Yeah, exactly. Like, if I was made this way, if I was made to be a sinful creature, if I was made to be a sinful person, to be a person of blaspheming, like if you go for the what am I thinking of? Like the deadly sins, for instance, like, or yeah, the 7 deadly sins, for instance. That's like that way, man. We basically break those as children, and yeah, you get the idea. There's so much to this. It's so deep. I'm having to think like a lot about this. It's got so much detail packed into it. The lyrical inspiration was activists removing the statues of slave owners and how it relates to how religious it is. Yeah, I totally agree with you. That's a very good inspiration. That's so cool, but it comes off in a way that's completely like, you can put it towards anything. Like, it's totally up to like interpretation. There is so much interpretation within it. That's why I love music, man, because you can just add your own interpretation onto everything, and it just makes it your own. That's why music is the most powerful medium we have. Yeah, I can see that. Because then you can put your meaning to it, which is what you intended, and then just let everybody else take what they want from it, which is the best way in my opinion. I totally get away with it, man. I was born, like, with a chronic condition, and I'm, like, gender fluid technically as well. If that's the right word for it, I don't know. So I totally get where you're coming from, sir. I can't help but drag the music back a bit as well, like, you know, whenever I have to pause, I just want to go back a bit further than I need to, just to hear it again, because it's amazing. I missed it, missed Benga. I accidentally closed it before I could show it. Oh yeah, black metal is very much I know, right? Getting that massive man down. Oh, I can tell. That's it. So let's make a statement. Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, most black metal is very straight. Like, just look, there's only, like, do you remember when Goal came out in Gorgoroth? Yeah. I remember seeing them back in 2017. I mean, 2007, man. 2017, my ass, man. In, like, back in 2007. And it was a shit show. Or was it 2008? One of those. Like, everybody was, like, shouting shit at him, and it was annoying. Oh, yeah, I know. Fuck knows, mate. Because people are assholes. But no, this isn't depressive black metal though. I don't know where I would put it, but I don't know. You need like emotional black metal. That would be a much better term for it. Yeah. No, black gaze is different. This is its own thing. There's no subgenre I've been put onto it. It just stands by itself, as all good music should. Boy, that's a change right there. That change in music, man. We went from here and we went, oh, in time to that sound. This is gorgeous, man. I love this little. I love this riff, man. This riff is absolutely amazing. Yep. I know. I figured. That is gorgeous, but I am going to break it down a little bit more. What are we at, like 17 minutes? So we should be actually like kind of close. Not to the end, but like, you know, like at least a decent point where I can break down some more lyrics. Let's see, what did I miss in the chat? I saw one video to the conclusion exactly. It feels like we're building to an end, like at least for this one song. I know we got another 3 to go, so let's see. I cannot build myself up again to watch myself fall apart at the seams. I cannot walk if I'm destined to fall through trials by design of cruelty and hate. I agree. That's totally self-explanatory. There's nothing needed for me to add to that. That is exactly how it's intended to be, man. Like, it's totally just speaks for itself. Like, I can't bear to rip myself apart. I can't bear to do that because I know, like, eventually I'm going to fall. And that's by design. And that's something that's going to torture me forever. You are so frail. You hide behind your fear. Your faith is a mask for your insecurity. And you wield it like a sword. That's true for all religion, man. Just look at how dangerous, what is it, in Palestine? How dangerous religion is there. And how crazy religion can be. Just for how much hatred and destruction and bigotry and all those words you can put into it. Oh, is YouTube down? Yeah, it was having trouble earlier, man. It wasn't uploading, you know, the one video that I did. It was being strange. I had to fight with it. Summoning the flood, the call of the raging seas. Apollons, or Apollo, whichever word that is. Wait before the world. We ache, we fear. and we suffer for naught. Undue and unjust is the folly of Christ. Transient echoes from a long-lost era cannot conceive my fate. And I agree. Yeah, as in it's putting like points of the Bible into contention, and then being like, how can these things from a long-lost era, from many thousands of years ago, manage to conceive my fate? How can this possibly even try to conceive anything about me? It knows nothing about me or any being that lives in this day and age. Why should I ever let the contemptuous book just allow me to feel any way, or to allow it to control people's fate in general? I suffer the want for a better world, and the need for compassion in terrible times. Great is my weakness to punish myself for. A love forbidden by those who bore me. That's totally about being gay right now. Yeah. Like, the need for compassion in terrible times is totally a thing, man. That's why religion exists. Great is my weakness to punish. Yeah, that's it. Like you want to punish yourself because you was born in that way. In religion's eyes, you were deemed not normal. But then again, in the terms of just the Bible, like, being gay is only in 1 or 2 passages, where there's more passages about having to beat your wife into submission than there is about being gay to begin with. So I don't get why it's such a massive, like, concrete thing that these activists or these religious zealots try to do. But still, behind the weight of this cage of bones is a heart that sinks at the sights of greed, of a Lord who damns his beloved creation for sins he determined his sons to commit. Yeah, I totally agree. Like, all the priests and everything, like, are greedy, man. Like, have you seen, like, the mega churches in America and stuff, man? Where they're, like, multi-millionaires, billionaires, whichever way you want to go about it. And then you've got the Vatican, and so many other places that are just pure places of pure greed. And, yeah, it's genuinely hideous, I agree. And yeah, that one's kind of self-explanatory, like. But he's always damned us, ever since the beginning. We're literally born in sin, so of course, because of Eve taking the apple, it basically damned us all forever, so it doesn't really matter. I cannot pretend that I am the same as I once was. If dreams lie in tatters, and a soul knows no purpose, what can I hope for? What can I live for? That's the thing, you have to live for yourself. You have to have hope for yourself, for things that you want to achieve. Like, life is not meant to be easy. I've been in chronic pain my entire life, and I know that life is never ever meant to be. Life is never ever meant to be easy, and it's always going to be hard, and that's the bit that I wanted to get to, so I know we haven't been there yet, but I totally just wanted to, like, go forward. I couldn't help it. The lyrics are driving me into it, but still. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, like, to do YouTube, I had to reteach myself how to speak, because, like, if you look, like, really closely, like, this side of my mouth doesn't work right. So I have to talk in a completely different way. So, like, you know, the, like, vocal cords that you use for growling and screaming, that's the vocal cords I use to speak from as well, because it makes my voice much clearer and much easier to understand, and stuff like that, so. Alright then, man, let's go, almost to the end. Thank you, man. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's been 44 minutes already of this reaction. There we go, I'm back into that sexy ass riff. Whatever the hell you want to call it. But no, this is totally like my favourite genre of music. I don't know what to call it, but you know, just pure emotion. Emotion is what I live for now, in terms of music. I love passion and integrity and just beautiful music now. Yes, you achieved it by a lot. Oh, that's very reminiscent of the Crow. I know it's not the same riff, but you know, that kind of way that he plays on the rooftop. Kind of like that. That's interesting, okay. No, it doesn't, but it changes the way the song goes together. Like, it's in a place where, you know, when you need to just transition the way that the song is going. It's what it reminds me of anyway. I'm sorry, for my part. I forgot to turn off the auto moderation, so. I know, right? My bot's always a random thing now. The guitar riff really gives that feeling of just like, you know, the impatience, the passion behind like what's being screamed. Like the guitar riff like really like goes behind that so well, man. It's like it like pushes the words forwards in a really, really good way. Makes sense. Like, first album. Yeah, thought so. That's their darkest one, isn't it? Technically, I guess. I love that metaphor. That metaphor is amazing. What is that, man? That mystical sound, man. I can't tell what it is. Like, it's about here, about there in the mix, man. Is it a violet? Oh, okay. Let's get it. Oh yeah, miss. I can hear it. Took a second for it to get clearer. It started off very, like in the background. Now it's coming further forward. That's cool. I don't know what I'm not talking. I'm just like embracing the music a little bit. It's like gorgeous. Like it's so everything. You get the idea by now. See, that's Winston right there. That's the Winston in front, you can hear it. That's totally how they ended, which song was it? It was one of the songs. It's a very winter sunny sound. But anyway, that was, in my most humble opinion, it was like one of the most masterful songs I've heard, probably in like ever since I heard Arcane Rainfall from Trisagion back when I was like 14 years old. Like I think I was 14, 13, 14, something like that. I'm like 32 now, so a long ass time ago. Yeah, that record's good, isn't it? Like that's like the one which I used to have me go to sleep and all of those kind of things as well, man. Like everything. Where did we go? Where did we even get to? So we did that, and then yeah, we're right there. I've never heard the re-recording of Death Come Near Me. I really need to go listen to that, to be fair, but still. Let's see, we did this already, but if dreams lie in tatters and the soul knows no purpose, what can I hope for? What can I live for? Makes sense, right? Like, if you have no purpose in your life, what point is there in living for? But like I said, man, you have to live for yourself. Like, living for yourself is all you can do. Living to appreciate everything you have until that final breath. Until you achieve your dreams, until you put the things out there into the ether that you want to put out, man. Like, because religion's one thing, like, religion is a way of control, in a sense, but there are other forces at play here. It's not just religion and non-religion, there's bits in between. That's what I think anyway, but still. There was a time where I could forgive, but I've lost so much. I've lost so fucking much. I hate that I hate, and it brings me closer to you. That's a sick line. Like, I'm totally the same way. Like, the older that I get, like, the more I find it hard to forgive. Like, I'm very much in my own mindset. Like, in my, like, I don't give an F. I just, like, I do what I do, and I think what I think, and I just don't care what people think anymore. Like, I used to care so much when I was a lot younger, but now I just don't anymore. I think it's just a thing that happens as you go further on through life. But still. And that, as it brings me closer to yourself, he's talking about God, like, God hates, like, unconditionally. And that's exactly what happens if you hate, and if you hate, and you hate, and you hate, that brings you closer to that way of thinking, and it's never a good thing to do. Like, I never try to hate, I try to be indifferent, which is a completely different thing. I am not what I am. I am so lost in this place. These vast surroundings compel me to dread, as I sink within myself, foraging an irrepassable path. I cannot, or I can't regret. What I feel is just, I am one with the sword you held to me, the reflection in the steel. Like, yeah, like, he's one with the sword, like, he's been sharpened and conditioned and changed and manipulated and warped and burnt and forged and foraged and every single way to make him exactly how he is. And because he feels like he's one with that sword, with the way he was, like, put together by society, by religion, by so much, and so many other things in between, that he sees the reflection in the steel as himself, whereas in reality, the reflection in the steel isn't what you should be focusing on. You should be forging your own voice, your own path, your own ways of going about your life, if you want to call it that, and just allowing your life to live, and allowing you to live your life how you want it to go, rather than what other people think. Easier said than done, I know. But still, man. And then, obviously, I am not what I am, forged and contorted. Yeah, you are not what you are. You are against that, and I agree. And I totally agree. Yeah, I can tell. It's, like, very beautiful, though. Like, the darkness is absolutely, like, it's haunting to hear. It's true emotion. Like, there's not many things you hear that are true emotion. Like, a lot of it has emotion and it has passion. But true emotion, that's a whole different issue, man. That's a whole different subject. But yeah, this was the first part, man. And we got like 3 more to go, man. So let's keep going, guys, man.